VPG presents the features we want in FIFA 23 Pro Clubs. Before we get started guys, don't forget to like this video, click the subscribe button for more Pro Clubs content. Now moving across, let's take a look into the FIFA 22 Pro Clubs with all the new features EA gave us. So you could create your own logo, you could create your own custom kits with different sort of emblems, you could switch between different stadiums, customize the stadiums with color, customize your promo with perks and attributes. So overall in FIFA 22 we did get a lot more features. So now let's take a look at what we want for FIFA 23. In FIFA 23 we want to see a brand new look with a fresh new user interface, giving Pro Clubs a fresh new style. So here are some styles I created for the My Pro Clubs section. As you can see, you have your player, which will be animated on the left hand side. It has your player rating, your position, your gamer tag and what division you are currently competing in. And underneath that is your My Stats, which gives you a more in-depth stats for your pro. You have the club in the top left hand corner with the star rating. You have your stats just underneath that. You've got a drop-in match, a new feature which is a park mode where you can socialize with new friends, weekly objectives and a more in detailed shop. Now moving across into the club section, we have most of the similar features that we had on the last one, but for the new one I'll be covering the weekend league. I'd like to see this introduced on FIFA 23, best out of 20 games, something like that on the weekend, and be ranked in the world. It just gives Pro Clubs a fresh new look with a new complete ranking system. Now moving across into the customization, the two things I want to add into this section is upload logo. So esports teams and organizations can upload their own logo, transparent PNG, and also a rename a club feature. We know that many teams they delete the club to create a new one with a new name. So this rename club feature would be very, very ideal. Now moving across into the leaderboards, I've created quite a few leaderboards for this one. Obviously the virtual pro, which will be for your player, top striker, that should be filtered by position, region, stats like goals, assists. We have the weekend league ranking, so if you do win 20 out of 20 you will be up there with the best teams in the world. You have your club rankings for your players inside that team, etc, etc. So the leaderboards in FIFA 23, they need to be a massive changes, as we've seen leaderboards from the past few FIFAs exactly the same. Now moving across into the Pro Shop section, this should be filtered from a featured all items and obviously FIFA points as well. I want Pro Clubs to have its own currency, so people that do want unique items, you can unlock them in special areas of the game with objectives, and you can also buy them with FIFA points as well. Now obviously you guys probably do agree with me that you do want to see tattoos and other areas of customization added to your pro. So here is a little concept I've designed for the tattoos. As you can see, you swipe through different various of tattoos, you select it and it adds onto your virtual pro. Now moving across into the Pro Clubs match lobby. Now this one is one of my favorites. As you can see, there's a more detailed pro experience. As soon as you jump into the match lobby, it will take a little image of your pro and it will be very, very in high detail on the pitch. As you can see, it shows you the position, the microphone and the gamer tag underneath it. Now another new feature I have added to this one is the substitutions. So as you can see on the right hand side, you have up to 6 players to jump in and they can watch from the stands. Now moving across into the play styles, as you can see, you can select between 5 or 6 on this left hand side, and while you're swiping through a couple, you can see all the attributes on the right hand side. You can see the acceleration, the sprint speed, everything you want to give you a more in-depth view of all your play styles. Now moving across into the tactics, same sort of system as it is now. You just choose the formation that you want to play and it changes the formation on the game. Now swiping across into the roles, same system as it is now, but just looks a little bit better. On the right hand side, you can choose who the captain is and who's taking the corners, penalties, free kicks, etc. Now moving across into the club shop, I like this one. So for the club shop, obviously there's a Pro Clubs currency in the top right hand corner. So you buy FIFA points and you can earn Pro Clubs coins from in-game activity. So with this you can unlock rare kits, stadiums, fans, everything to give Pro Clubs a whole new experience. Now for this next feature, most of you will approve and agree with this one. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner, you can see a rejoin button. Now for this one, we've all been there when we're disconnected from a Pro Clubs match. Well, now what we want is, if you select a position and then click the rejoin button, it will automatically add you into the stands watching your teammates. However, we do understand that we can't have everyone subbing in at any time of the match, so I do propose something where they do join in, they get to sit from the stands, and at half time, where everyone is paused, the managers can make some substitutions only at half time to make sure all 22 players are in sync. So that is the rejoin button that I have put together, and you can possibly join in at half time. After half time, you can't. Now for this one is to bring a little bit more positivity to the mode. So after each game on Pro Clubs, you have to vote for the player of the match. So a simple layout like this, or it could be in a list format where you select the player and you vote. You receive some XP for voting as well, and the player also gets XP as well. So you can have that with a new stat added to Pro Clubs with the amount of times you have been voted for the player of the match. For FIFA 23, we hope for a more in-depth player stats. So you can look through previous seasons you've had it in areas of the game. Also for Pro Clubs friendlies, a lot of teams out there do just play Pro Clubs friendlies, so it would be good just to get the data from that as well. But a more in-depth player statistics would be perfect moving across into FIFA 23. Now for this one is the Pro Clubs Battle Pass. Now this gives the players an incentive to keep on playing and keep on ranking up. So the more levels you rank up on the Battle Pass, there'll be different seasons throughout the year. The more levels you rank up, you unlock rare items, and you can share and show them off in different sorts of mode on FIFA Pro Clubs. Now, so this is the Battle Pass. Now moving across into the objectives, sort of the same system, but with the objectives, it kind of keeps you busy as well. So you can win. If you play a match on Pro Clubs, you'll receive XP. If you win, let's say 50 games, you get XP. If you score 50 goals, you get XP. Just gives you a lot more objectives to complete, keeps you busy. It was basically like the old Pro Club style games where you had loads of objectives. Now they need to add that back for FIFA 23. Now moving across into the leaderboards, this is an important topic I want to cover. Obviously the leaderboards have been the same for many years now. We want to see a massive change to the leaderboards, have them filtered by every single position, every single stat. Let's not just make the leaderboards just for those who play as many games as possible. They need to be filtered by many areas of the game, filtered by friendlies, what the score is in friendlies, highest win. Just literally go over the top with the leaderboards with many areas to cover for this going forward. Now here is a breakdown of what we have just covered. So what Pro Clubs needs. So number one, it needs a new UI, which is a new user interface to give Pro Clubs a fresh new style and a fresh new look. It needs an area for Pro Clubs to socialise. They've lacked this in many years on the game, so it needs a place for players to go meet new potential teammates. So for this one is a Pro Clubs Park style, where we can go in, play mini games, a penalty shootout, football, tennis, stuff like that. And you can socialise and meet new friends. Another option for this one is like the old style PlayStation communities, where a lot of Pro Clubs players used to use them, used to post a position, used to be able to find friends on the Pro Clubs communities. Now for that one, they should bring in a little chat system on the Pro Clubs game, so you can all look for the positions you need for your Pro Clubs team. Now for the next one is crossplay. Now from what we have heard, crossplay is definitely going to happen for FIFA 23, which will bring in that fresh idea of loads of clubs playing each other for the first time. Especially in the competitive scene, it would be good for many new teams to play each other. Now for this one is inviting friends. Now we've all been there when we struggled to invite friends on PlayStation to your Pro Clubs team, especially those who have many friends on the PlayStation platform. So whilst crossplay comes into play, you'll probably have to invite them via an EA ID, so you can play with players on Xbox, PC and PlayStation on the same team at the same time. Now for the shop, we need to see a more detailed shop with many customizations for your club and your pro. So tattoos, you can upgrade your stadium, get more fans, just literally gives you the full control of the club, starting from the bottom. Now number 6 is objectives and the battle pass. I did cover this earlier, but yeah, just to keep the game, keep it with a more incentive, keep players active, giving them rewards for playing throughout the Pro Clubs year. Now, positive player voting. So as soon as you finish a game on Pro Clubs, you're voting for the player of that match. They get rewards, you get rewards for voting. It's a win-win from both parties. Now, a more balanced play. So especially for 11v11, maybe an option where you can choose a play style like we have currently, and you say if you're playing striker and you can put yourself in cam. We need something where as soon as you go right mid, you can't change your play style. You have to have a right mid build. It just keeps everything balanced. It keeps the whole flow of the team, so everyone's not just using a striker build. It gives a more balanced play, which I want to see come into play. Now, for a major issue that we all have is disconnecting from games. It doesn't happen to everyone, but now and again it does happen to you guys, and especially happens when you're playing in the most competitive match or in the final or something like that. So what we want to see is a reconnect option / a sub option in Pro Clubs. So if you come in late or if you're disconnected from the game, you go to the sub section, it will load you into the game. You can watch until the half time, and then if the manager wants to make some substitutions, they can. But obviously, with 22 players being in sync at the same time, with new players jumping in, that will take a lot of time to get everyone in sync. So when everyone's paused and everyone's sort of at the same level, maybe the only option for that to work would be to make subs only at half time. Number 10 is Pro Clubs currency. So you play, earn and unlock. So you play, earn currency, and you can unlock new items along the way. Another option we wanted was rename a club. That was most important, as a lot of teams, they delete a club to go make a new one with a new name. So a rename a club option, you'll keep all your history that you've played throughout the year, and you can rename it. Number 12, custom kit and upload emblem. A lot of esports teams want to see an upload emblem so they can play with their custom logo. Now, what I've wanted for a while is like a weekend league system or a tournament format. Now, I'll explain both now. For the weekend league system, you'll play like 20 games on the weekend. Let's say if you win 20, you'll be up there with the top clubs in the world with all platforms, Xbox, PlayStation and PC. The best teams at the end of, let's say the end of the FIFA cycle, they'll go into an offline tournament and let's say win a cash prize. But just for starting it off, they'll win just some nice new kits that no one else has. Now for the tournament system, this will be automated, so there'll be like a scheduled time tournament. You register to join, and it will be, as soon as everyone's in a lobby, it'll automatically add you in the game. After the game's finished, if you win, it'll automatically add you into the next round. So it keeps going like that. An automated system, similar to like game battles with Call of Duty. As soon as you finish one game, it'll add you into another, but all players have to be ready for this one. Now for this one, it's not just for 11v11. Obviously it will suit all types of clubs, so it'll either be for like 2v2, 4v4, 5v5, 6v6, 11v11. But the options are there for all types of players and all types of teams, so you can play those tournaments, and it will tell you like a week in advance when the next tournament is. You join it, and it will tell you who your opponents are. Everyone gets in a lobby, boom, the game starts. So that will be the way forward, especially for Pro Clubs, keeping it alive on the game itself. Now for the new leaderboards, I need to see them filtered by every single position, every statistic, not just focusing on the players who have played the most games on the mode. So we need to see filtered by striker, cam, goals, assists, literally country, everything that you can name off. The leaderboards definitely need a new revamp for FIFA 23. Now moving across into the Pro Clubs modes that I want to see come in. Obviously we have the league play, which we see now, which is you start off at Division 10 and work your way up to Division 1. We've had that many years. There needs to be some sort of change to that now, some sort of new system, but the league play still needs to be a feature for Pro Clubs. Now for the next one is Pro Clubs Friendlies. We need the data from Pro Clubs Friendlies for a start, because that's just literally, it never happens. So let Pro Clubs Friendlies, let the data be available from the Pro Clubs page. Let it just say like the amount of games you played as a friendly, the amount you've won, lost, etc, because we only use Pro Clubs Friendlies for third-party leagues like myself with VPG. So those Pro Clubs Friendlies, you'll start, you'll play the match, and then you'll submit the score on the VPG website, and that's basically like a league format, scheduled times, and that's the only thing we use Pro Clubs Friendlies for currently. Now for this one I just covered not long ago is the tournaments on the Pro Clubs mode. Now for this one, it'll be a scheduled date and time for tournaments to take place on FIFA 23 itself on the Pro Clubs menus. It'll tell you if it's 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, 11v11. You'll join the tournament, it'll tell you what date and time it will be, and once that scheduled time comes into place, all your players need to be in that lobby for that time. I'll have like a little ticker time countdown, So once it goes to 0, the match will automatically start. Once the game's finished, the winner will automatically go through to the next round. So it'll be able to calculate that match, get all that data, and it will put 2 teams from that round who won into the next round. So everyone needs to stay in the lobby, everyone needs to stay active. Just a tournament on PROCLUBS mode that will basically make things a lot more next level. So you don't have to keep playing in third-party tournaments. You can literally do everything on the game, play on the game, and everyone stays in the lobby and competes with that team. Now for the next one is schedule the leagues on PROCLUBS. So for example, like we do at Virtual Pro Gaming, we have leagues globally around the world at scheduled times to different countries. So we have an API where you can get that data, you can get the matches data, literally everything. So if they literally just took our API, they could have the same sort of tournament system I mentioned above, but for the league. So they could have the scheduled times for those league teams if they want to enroll into a club, enroll to a league, sorry. And from there, it will just tell you the scheduled times from FIFA. They all have to be in the lobby, and the match will automatically start. So that is basically me covering the scheduled leagues for PROCLUBS. Now for the weekend league, something similar to what I mentioned before. So for the weekend league, 20 to 30 matches per week, and after those matches have been completed, you'll be ranked in the world. You win XP. You literally win and unlock rare new items, and it could lead into an offline event from EA, or you win a cash prize, something like on the lines with that. But definitely the weekend league I'd like to push, because it's something that happens in FIFA Ultimate Team, and it's something I've wanted to see come into PROCLUBS for a long time. Now I've seen quite a lot of people request this one, which is a referee mode. So if you're a broadcaster, it'll be good for that, because you'll get different sort of camera angles to broadcast a match. That's a final, something like that. Or if you have just an interest in being a referee, you can make vital decisions in game. So that's another option as a referee mode. Now for the next one is a park mode, which we mentioned earlier. It's something similar to like NBA Park. You can play mini games like penalty shootout, and you can meet new potential teammates. So yeah, a park mode to make it more sociable. Now for the last one is PROCLUBS communities. Now what we used to see on PlayStation with the PlayStation communities, you could go in there, you could look for a player at a certain position. It used to just give people a chance to find new players and bring them into your team. So having something like that on the FIFA 23 with a chat system would be perfect. It would help, it will bring people together. It would just be amazing. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video with all the features that we want to see coming into FIFA 23 or into any future FIFA to the exact. So let me know in the comment section below, guys, what you thought of this video, what areas that you like, what new features that you thought that would be good into PROCLUBS. And if I missed anything, do let me know in the comment section of what you want to see coming into FIFA 23 PROCLUBS. But yeah, I appreciate you guys if you watched it to the end, around 18 minutes. So yeah, thank you guys. It was one of my longest videos I've ever done. I've got a new mic now, so yeah, it was the perfect time to release this one. So if you like PROCLUBS, guys, and you want to play in some sort of league, the VPG Virtual Pro Gaming, which is my league, if you want to join, we have leagues globally around the world. The link is in the description below for the mobile app and the website as well. It's an API. We use an API, so you can literally use both. Yeah, VPG Virtual Pro Gaming, get signed up, guys, and compete in the highest 11v11. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more PROCLUBS content. So we'll do goals of the week, player builds, everything for your PROCLUBS needs. So thank you all for watching. We appreciate if you watched to the end, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.